So today on Let's Talk Relationship, well, you can see the topic on your screen. It's very interesting, isn't it? When marriage becomes a visa and not a vow. There are so many things going on in marriages now that is absolutely heartbreaking that you cannot just fathom. Where we have, especially marriages outside of the country, where, you know, the man meets a woman or hears about a particular woman or is recommended, a lady is recommended to him. He gets interested and he decided, you know what, I want to do life with you. And so how about we get married, organize papers and bring you over to where I am at. US, UK, Germany, wherever. But the lady gets into the country and they say that a majority of them, they change. How true is it? And now it's beginning to spoil some chances of other people who genuinely want to travel and live happily ever after with their partners. Anyways, that is our conversation for today. I want you to get interactive with us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, it is Joy Prime TV. Get into the comment section. Or you can take our WhatsApp number 055-157-5757. My name is Asiedua Komia. My guests are beautifully seated. And I always love to be gender biased. And so I'm going to introduce my female guest to you first. She's in the person of Madonna Opon. She's a TV personality. She's also a motivational speaker. And she's very beautiful. My goodness. Aww. Good morning, Madonna.
Good morning. Thanks for that. You're too kind.
Hope you're good.
I'm doing well, thank you. Yes.
Are you excited about the topic?
Why should I? It's not excitement per se, but it's something that is quite sensitive.
Very.
You know, because for somebody who has been brokenhearted, it's just going to bring back bad memories to that person watching, because people have had very bad experiences from these things. You know, when relationships become transactional in a way, you know that you don't want the person, you know that, I mean, whatever the person's investment is, you're not part of it. You have your own plans.
That's true.
You know, and so it becomes like a fraudulent activity to me, because that's the meaning of fraud. That's what fraud do.
That's true, and I don't want you to give away so much, because we have our male guest that I have to introduce. He is no stranger to us at all. He's like a father to us all right here at Multimedia, not just Joy Prime. I am talking about man of God, counselor, marriage counselor, life coach, you can say it all. Reverend Daniel Annan. Good morning, Rev.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, how is everything? I know your wife is around, but she's in the car waiting for you. So good morning to her. Good morning.
I have to be.
Yes. You have to be very, very sober this morning. We understand you. Understand it. Just a little bit about the topic. How does that make you feel?
Quite interesting.
Okay.
Quite interesting, because motives or reasons why people marry now is becoming very problematic.
Very.
Yes. The reasons why people are now entering into relationships becoming very problematic. Look at what is happening in the US right now. According to the laws. Now they are saying that if you marry, you don't have access to my properties.
Yes. Yes.
So you see, even enactment of law is reflecting what the society is working towards. Now they are saying that you cannot be an automatic citizen because you were born there.
Yeah.
Yes. So it begins,
that rights
those rights taken away. And once US starts that, other nations as well will begin to do that. For instance, when you go to the Arab countries where they are rich, you can't go to UAE and marry a woman. You can't even see the woman and marry.
Yeah.
And if you, per chance, you have a woman there, the moment you give birth to, you have a child with a woman, they kick you out. You don't have access to what they have. So it's become quite a challenge right now, and very problematic, because there are some people who are also genuine.
That's true.
Very genuine.
Yes.
Yeah, very sincere too.
Yes.
But somewhere down the line, something happened. With time, we'll look at that.
Let's go into the basics of issues like this. For instance, if you're a lady living in Ghana and somebody outside, a man outside the country is interested in you. Now, what is circulating on social media that has now become like an advice that a lot of counselors and motivational speakers are giving to some men now is that they shouldn't marry women from Ghana because there's a high possibility she's going to switch on you. Is it wrong for a young woman, let's say like me, would desire or want to be married to somebody outside the country?
There's nothing wrong with that. Long-distance relationships definitely has its advantages, but everything in life has some risks to it. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with you desiring to marry somebody that lives abroad or get into a relationship with a person. But quite unfortunately...
It doesn't make me seem opportunistic in any way.
Not at all. I mean, we have preferences in life. People would intentionally want to marry well-to-do people.
Yes.
It's an intentional thing. That is what they want for their life. It's just like saying, I want a tall man. Why can't somebody also say, I want somebody who is well-to-do? You know, or I want somebody who works
in this
like
profession. It's a sin.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay.
That is genuinely, that is what you're attracted to. Someone would say, I would love to marry a doctor. Why don't we have anything wrong with that? But we immediately, if somebody says,
I want to marry a wealthy man,
then we have issues with that.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we all have desires, we all have preferences. But sometimes it is the means with which we acquire them and the motives, as you said. Why do you want to marry a worthy man? You know, are you going to do that at all costs? I mean, you're going to put your principles aside and because the man is worthy, you don't care about where the money is coming from.
Yes.
That is when we get into the nitty-gritty of it. Okay, I want to marry a worthy man who is God-fearing, who is a principled man. But somebody probably might say, I don't care where the money is coming from. Once a man can take care of my needs, that's the kind of person I want.
Yeah.
So I'm back to the issue. If I want to marry somebody that lives abroad, I may have my reasons. I won't want to start a life abroad. I want my kids to be born abroad, you know, grow up from a different culture. And I think that marrying this person because he lives there,
it would be very easy.
The easiest way of doing that.
Yes.
Aside the fact that probably I'm in love with the person as well, that is a plus, you know. But then that's where the issue is when you're not in love with the person, you know, and you're just being an opportunistic.
Yes.
It will backfire eventually. When you go there, you can't live with your enemy for long.
Yeah.
It will show.
And you see, that you saying that it will show, Reverend, that is where usually the problem starts. Yeah. Because now you've gotten the opportunity to be married to this person and he's brought you to, I mean, sometimes we have women who bring men from Ghana to, you know, outside the country and all of that. So now this person has the opportunity to be in the country. That is when you start seeing the true colors of the person, whether he or she was deeply in love with you or not. How do you handle such a situation?
You see, what I've told you that now marriage market is now taking a new dimension. Yeah. You see, now you see people are even marrying through social media. So what about that? But people are married through Snapchat. Does the person know him or her? No. So when we need to always be very circumspect about who to marry. Yeah. When you are able to answer the question, who do I marry? Yeah. It will always pre-program your thinking as to the choice and the decision that you have to make. Because, you see, you can't marry anyone. Because money is not everything. Yeah. It's just only a means. But when you marry a person, when I marry a Sidwa, I've married a Sidwa, but I'll be living with what is behind the Sidwa.
Okay, okay.
So you live with what is behind that you don't know, the character, the lifestyle, and all this. You live with that. Are you prepared for that? That's the issue. Yeah. So quite often I tell people that before you even, whether you have an objective or a mindset that I want to marry such a person from this tribe, from this country, from here or that, first, in your due diligence, ask yourself this question: does this person know God? Does he share faith with me? Because you cannot marry your enemy.
That's true.
You cannot marry an enemy. Yeah. You can actually no obeying omushia no my chirebe no mukuntokwa.
Oh, treni obe omushia no my chirebe. Okay.
There's some people they are always okay individually, but when you bring them together, the chemistry
always a loggerhead.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, is the person God-fearing? Does he know God? Not church. Yeah. Because people get into church for reasons.
That's true.
So somebody who knows, you know very well that they have the fear of God in them. Number two, marry somebody you trust. I always insist on the trust issue. Because you see, people can be very deceptive. Very. Yeah. Quite often, some are very deceptive. Yeah. You know, for instance, we guys can just follow you everywhere, but he just wants something. The moment he gets...
And that's it.
That's it. So,
vanishes into
it's gone. Then it begins to give you attitude. So you must understand that marry somebody you trust when the person is, one, truthful. In your conversation, check whether he's telling the truth. So whether the person is abroad or wherever he is, his communications are not that good. They're not flexible. Every time there's something that they are hiding behind. When he wants, he calls you. Then you must understand that there's a trust issue.
When you do the phone call. You will never get him.
When he
unless he calls you.
And this is a sign that there's something he's hiding.
Right.
Police.
That's very true. Now, Reverend, I also want us to look at the angle of this also. So I know somebody, a very wealthy man. He's Ghanaian, super rich. He's married to a Ghanaian nurse here. Now, this Ghanaian nurse agreed to marry him based off the fact that, oh, I'll miss you, Diana, I'll give you a house, give you a car and all of that. Because he has a wife in America. He's married to a white woman in America who actually aided him in acquiring his papers. And so he still has to stay married to that woman because the woman is not willing to divorce him. So she has become like a Ghanaian wife. And he is married to a white woman who is like the American wife. Now, in a situation like that where you are married to a man and this man leaves and says, I'm going outside the country for greener pastures, but ends up being married to another woman for Nkrata. How do you, what do you do? Is this something that you should agree to, first instance? Should you agree just because you want to start living a good and better life? Madonna.
As I said earlier, life is full of choices. And with every choice you make, you need to measure the risk. Okay. As a woman, I know that there are so many women who have agreed to that. Their husbands have gone to marry other women just so they can have the proper documentation. And there's a divorce and they come back for them. There are some successful stories. But I've also known with close people, it's like a quagmire of relationship issues. Because you see, sometimes it doesn't go well. Now, the woman who has offered to do that for you sometimes would take money. Most of the time, they pay for that, you know. But surprisingly, there are a lot of women out there who are looking for husbands.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So they'll say, okay, pay me $20,000. Let me do this thing for you. Now, for everything to go on smoothly, there's a time where you have to live together because the people might come around from the immigration to be sure that you guys are really a couple together, you know. And that is where some of these women trap the men. Some of them blackmail them. If you don't have sex with me, I'm not going to continue with it. Meanwhile, you're probably all the way half through. If you don't do this for me, I'm going to cut it off. I'm not going to proceed with it. And you have paid so much money already. You know, your money has gone into it. Your effort has gone into it already. Are you going to back out after all these years of trying? You are almost so close to acquiring your documentation. And so they fall for that. Before you know it, the woman is pregnant. Now you have a child with a baby abroad. They are going to sue you for child support if you don't take care of the child.
If you don't take care of the child.
The woman is going to blow the whistle on you and say that I'm going to tell authorities that they're doing this is a transactional thing. And so they are caught in that situation. What do they come back to their wives back home to tell? You agreed to him to do that, so you should wait. That's why you should measure all the risks. If your heart can take all the, what if it doesn't go well? What if my husband ends up in a situation like this? Will I be able to contain it? You know, it's a risky thing, but I am not here as a moralist to say that it is wrong. For me, I have my principles. I may not do that first place. I mean, if God has placed you in that country as an immigrant, God will make a way for you. Maybe that's my belief. Others would think that the end justifies the means. I mean, Machiavellian. It doesn't matter what I do. Once I get my documentation, I can bring my relatives abroad. People have done that. They've been able to take almost everybody from
in the family.
Abroad. So you can't really throw that away. All I would say is you measure your risks, what you can take and what you cannot take. You know, if you measure the risks in allowing your partner to do that, these are some of the possibilities. It's possible he might end up even falling in love with that woman. It is possible he might have children with that woman. Weigh all those things before you agree to
before
that.
you agree to that.
Decision to you.
Speaking about you may end up falling in love with that woman. Reverend, I want to come to you with this question. In a situation where you as the wife, you help, you supported, you help gather money for your husband to travel abroad. He gets there and says, oh, because abroad because getting in Nkrata is difficult. This is the situation that he's found himself. He believes that could ease things and could help him. He's not going to fall in love. There's absolutely no way. It's going to be strictly contractual. But along the line, you agree to this, and then along the line, he ends up falling in love with this woman, starts having children with this white woman, and you are here in Ghana.
Whatever you cannot finish, don't start.
Okay.
If you don't, I always tell my wife, if you know you can't finish it,
don't start
it. Because quite often we know the consequences. But we always think that, oh, those kind of thinking, then we fall into a trap. Now, this is the issue. Quite often, when you are taken by surprise, truth must prevail. The person you got married here and the person there, you must be sincere through.
That's right.
Because that will help you. And you see, you cannot marry two people.
Yeah.
So, at a point in time, a decision ought to be made.
Yes.
That is your choice.
And the majority of the times, it is the woman in Ghana that ends up suffering, because a lot of the time they leave them here. Sometimes at middle point speed, they don't even hear from them anymore. Meanwhile, they have kids here with a woman.
Every woman comes into your life. The first priority of the woman is security.
Yeah.
So when a woman who is in abroad sees you're a gentleman, you are a hardworking person, and she's single.
Oh, she will hold you. She will grab you with her claws.
Why not?
Security.
Yes.
That's all they want. Peace of mind.
Yeah.
So you must always look at this from that point. For every woman, the first priority of every woman is a security. For a man, the first priority of a man is honor and respect.
Yeah.
So when they get into that zone, you become victim of that circumstance. So you have to be very careful and don't start something you know you cannot finish. But at a point in time, when such things are going on, you need to take a decision. Let it be plain. This is what has happened.
Yes.
So that you are, then you move on. Because at a point in time, that woman, it's a woman. I mean, when I open again, let me let her go. Let him one man and go. Because you see that your attitude and your attention is more towards the one who is in Ghana. But you are here, you are only a sleeping mate.
Because
there are some people that are psycho.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
People end up being with a psycho.
Yeah.
You know, I came across a certain story like that. But unfortunately, it didn't work for the girl. The girl decided that I'll pin you down. And through their conversation, the girl revealed the family secret to the guy. So the guy got to know the family secret. So when the girl wanted to pin the guy, there's a secret. And that was the only safety net for the guy.
Right.
Because that girl was bent. She knew that the guy has a wife.
In Ghana.
Yes. Oh no, he has even lived with them in London before. But I want your husband. So that's what is happening. So yeah, there are some people like that. That's what they are. You see, some people they just want a person like this, irrespective of anything. That's what I want.
Yeah.
So whether it's somebody's husband or whatever, they don't care. I want that man. And that is it.
I'm seated here with Madonna Opong, who is a TV personality and motivational speaker. And also, I am here with Reverend Daniel Annan, who is, I would say he's a life coach. He's a super man of God as well. He's no stranger to us. And we're having a super beautiful conversation. If you have had any personal experiences, if you're a woman that, you ended up finding yourself in a situation like this where your husband, your boyfriend, after living good life with them here, supporting them, they left you, went outside the country, and they have remarried over there just because of papers, please, you can get in touch with us. Go to our Facebook page. It is Joy Prime TV. Or you take our WhatsApp number 055-157-5757. Share your experiences with us. If there's any question that you want to ask, my beautiful guests are here to answer it all for you. Madonna.
Yeah.
How about a woman, okay, so you are in this situation, you find yourself in this situation.
Sure.
You are in Ghana, you are heartbroken, this is what you found out about your husband. Would you advise that a woman here in Ghana says that, I don't think there is any hope for my marriage, so let me walk out by divorcing?
Why not? I mean, surprisingly, there are a lot of women in that situation now.
Yes.
Some are aware that their husbands have marriages outside.
Yeah.
They're okay. They're okay. It's their choice. They are fine.
Provided money's coming in.
Probably the man has promised them that probably when your kids are done with SS, I'll come and pick them abroad. I'll take them. So they are just waiting for that to happen to them, But if you're a woman with your principles and you have your dignity and everything, I mean, you can walk out. Nothing wrong with that, because as Reverend said, you cannot be married to 2 women.
Yes.
No matter what it is, even if I have 10 children with you, there may be another man out there who may want to marry me. You know, I have squashed the dreams of coming abroad with you. Yes, let it go. Just let it go. He didn't take you abroad. That's not the end of your life. Another door can be open to you. Just release it. If you're holding on to something, how can you receive another thing? Release, let it go. God will surprise you. You never know. Just have your peace of mind, knowing that you're a single woman who is available to remarry. It's fine. But make sure that he takes care of your children, and make sure he settles you. Because you wasted your time.
Okay.
So, we do that, right? In our cultural setting, when you want a woman to go or you want to divorce, they ask you to settle the woman and for wasting her time, you know, and all that. Settle her peacefully, you know, and then let her go. Go. I mean, but make sure that he takes care of your children. If he doesn't take care of your children, there's so many avenues to go to. This is a developed country. This isn't like Ghana. You can lodge a complaint. I mean, he's a citizen and he has children here. There are so many things. Talk to your lawyers. They can find out
a way to get him over there.
Get him to take care of his responsibilities here. If that is, if he has children with you.
Yes.
Don't listen to people saying that, oh, like, you know, that kind of thing. You'll be. No. He knew what he was getting himself into. So if it's a matter of him taking care of your children and all that, there are so many avenues you could go to so they can help get his attention, make sure he takes care of his children here in Ghana. But please let it go. Divorce him. Divorce is not a Christian thing, but hey, marrying 2 is also not Christian. So
I love that you said that divorce is not a Christian thing, because I was going to direct the next question to Reverend Daniel, where I was going to ask that in a situation where you find yourself highly rooted in the things of God, you know that divorce is not something that God easily accepts or easily wants for any married couple, unless there is adultery. So in a situation like this, you are in the know. So I wouldn't say that you were, you know, in the marriage happily lovey-dovey, and then your husband cheated on you, and then those things. There's a motive, there's a purpose for he remarrying somebody who is outside the country. As a Christian woman, should you say that regardless of whatever, let me divorce this man, or should I stay and pray and hope my marriage works?
You see, when you are praying about something, the premise is wrong.
Foundation is already wrong.
How do you pray about that? The only thing that I can do is to repent. Madonna was saying something about hold.
Yeah.
When in the marriage vows, do you remember what quite often we say?
Yeah. To have and to hold.
What does it mean? Thought about it?
No. Well, I'm not married before, so I haven't really.
You need to.
Yeah.
It's like a cup. So you must have the cup. You must have the content in it and hold it. Keep it. What would you do that the cup would not break? There are some cups that are already cracked. So when it was coming, you need to check whether it's cracked or not cracked. When it is whole, that was given to you. Hold it, keep it, that you do not lose it.
But even with that, the to have and to hold, I think it has to belong to you first, before you can hold it. To have it first. It has to be yours. So when you have it, and you know you have it, and it is yours and yours only,
then
you can hold it well.
And the holding is more difficult than to have. Because maintenance is always difficult than having access. Yes.
That is where the work is.
Where the work is. So you see, when the premise is wrong, the only thing that we need to do is to repent. Now, I allowed you to marry for papers, and it is against my principles as a Christian. Because I opened the door for you to. It's like, you see, in life we have 2 wills. We have the permissive will and the perfect will. The permissive will is like what Abraham and Sarah did. Then Hagar came in. You remember? Because it was not God's will. That was permissive. They did it. So when it happened, what did God say? Let her go.
Let the other one go.
Let the other one go. So when you want to solve such issues, it's the 2 of you. First, repent of what you did, then take a decision. When you take a decision, it will not be wrong. Because you, the man himself will know that, this is where my heart belongs. This is where my allegiance lies. But the issue is that you should give preference to the one you married first. He is the real wife.
Nice, yeah.
Oh.
Yes, he's the real wife.
That's right.
So when you come to that situation, then both of you sit down and take a decision. But however, you see, whenever we are doing something and the intention is to hurt the other one, more especially the one you suffered with, it will be a curse upon your head.
Wow.
I'm telling you, the woman you started life with, Oba wouldn't say brabase, then when you be binti, would dampen what gonna masse. Oh yeah, be good.
Ooh.
That's what the Bible says. That do not despise the wife of your youth.
Yeah.
Don't. Because when you were in the trenches, she was with you.
Yeah.
When you had nothing, she was with you. She believed in you. She believed in your story. She even helped you to get abroad. And no one says we change already. We're a few. You don't do that. So when you are taking decisions, remember all these things so that you don't hurt the person. Let the other person know that I have told myself that if you come between my wife and myself, if I have the possibility to kill you, I'll kill you. Why? When I was nothing, I became a pastor.
Yeah.
She was a businesswoman. She took care of me.
Oh.
She did. So I don't want ever her to suffer. Never. Because she was there for me. When everybody, my father, I was an accountant with Hotel Georgia, Kumasi, and I resigned. My father shook his head and said, why? I've sent you to school, you've become somebody, you have left it. Nobody believed my story, but she believed.
Yeah.
Then, when it's going to say, you don't. So we must be very careful in handling such issues so that we don't hurt people and bring that people to that situation.
I love your submissions and Madonna's as well. Let's go on our social media. Let's read some comments. Good morning, Reverend. Today's marriage baseline is on money. Because a woman look at what they will get from you, the man. This is from PhD Asari. In they make their demands even before sex sometimes. Okay.
Oh, I came across Sancho. I was surprised.
So it's true.
Oh yeah, married. Not somebody says.
Married.
Married.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let me read the next one. My name is Esther from Cape Coast. I did the same thing and now things are bad for me. I have divorced him. We have 2 kids and things are not easy. Oh, so sorry. It is not good to marry a man and let him marry another because of hard living. He will forget you. Oh,
this is deep.
This is deep. Madonna, I want you to address this one.
I think, yes, it's men, most of the men who do that is out of greed. Because I also have friends who have done that. Okay, I told the other woman abroad that, yes, we've done this, I've gotten my documentation and everything, but it's time to let you go. That was the purpose of our transaction from day one. You know, the white lady did everything, wanted to even cancel his document. He stood his ground, and he came forth, the woman here, took her abroad and they're living happily ever after.
So it's possible for that to be done.
You can stand your, yes, you can stand your ground, but most of the time it's comfort and greed. Looking at what he's also gaining, because the other woman probably is also having a good life there. Probably he's living in the woman's house, he's not paying bills.
Yes.
He's comfortable, and so like he thinks that he can, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Most of the time, it is greed. It's nothing. It's not like something that he cannot get himself out of. That is what I mean. So when you find yourself in such a situation as a woman here in Ghana, don't let him go. It's hard. Life is going to be hard and tough for you, you know, but how
don't be scared to let it go.
Yes,
don't be
let
scared.
it go. As Rev said, it's started on a wrong premise in the first place. I mean, once you agree to that, as I said earlier, you weigh your risks. These are the risks. You should have thought of all these things before you allowed him. So if that is happening to you, that's your reality. What is your plan B?
Okay.
Have a plan B.
Okay.
You know, you put your children in this situation. Have a plan B. I mean, get up.
And get moving.
Get moving and move on with life. It's done. There's no way this man is going to come back and take you abroad. No way. He's made his intentions clear. Yeah.